Good morning, everybody. Glad you kind of checked in and come over here to join me today as we take Psalm 49 and we faith the day and we faith this week together. So now listen, Psalm 49 is kind of a hard word. I think it's kind of a word we know, but when you really think about it, it's a hard word. But it's a word we need to take heed to. And so here's really what Psalm 49 is talking about. No matter how much money you have, and I'm going to say, no matter how successful you are in this life, no matter what you have that this life and this world has to offer, you cannot buy yourself or anyone else's way into heaven. No matter what you accomplish on this earth, your end is just like the beasts in the wilderness. You die. Everyone dies, and we meet God. And there's the real kicker. Listen to this. He says, those who trust in their wealth, this is Psalm 49, verse 6, those who trust in their wealth and boast in the multitude of their riches, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. For the redemption of their souls is costly, and it shall never cease. Let me go ahead and read a couple more verses before I start. He says, the inner thought is that their houses will last forever, their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. Nevertheless, man, though in honor, he does not remain. He is like the beasts that perish. But God will redeem my soul from the power of the grave, for he shall receive me. All right. So he says over there in those first six through 9 that I read, he says, it doesn't matter how much money. You trust in your houses, you trust in your wealth. He said, let me tell you something. You can't buy a man's soul. You can't buy a person's way into heaven. And that's what he means by he cannot buy, none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom for him. You can't pay the price that would allow somebody into heaven. You can't buy your way into heaven. And it's only going to come from God. The redemption of souls is costly. I'll tell you how costly it was. It cost God his son. His son had to leave heaven, come to this earth, die on the cross, the innocent for the guilty, and then be resurrected so that we can have a way to heaven and a relationship with God. But here's even the bigger picture. Here's the one that I really thought of, that none of them can by any means redeem his brother, nor give to God a ransom, for the redemption of their souls is costly. How about your kids? How about your grandkids? You are responsible for them. You know that? You realize that, right? And you are responsible not just to take care of them and provide for them in this life. You are responsible for their spiritual life. Do you want your kids to find heaven? Do you want your kids to be able to live eternally with God after they die? You're responsible to lay that foundation. I'm going to tell you what, and I'm going to tell you this. There's going to come a time in your kid's life, I can promise you, when they are going to need God. Some tragedy is going to hit them. Some heartbreak. Something is going to pull the rug completely out from underneath them. And you know that. And they're going to be desperate for some peace, and they're going to be desperate from God. And I'm going to tell you what, how well they can hit or throw the curveball, it ain't going to matter. How good of a football player they are, ain't going to matter. How great of a dancer and tumbler they were, it ain't going to matter. How great of an athlete, how smart they were, where they graduated in their class, how many beach houses they had, how many four-wheelers they had, how many boats and sea-doos they had, how many times they went hunting, how many hunting leases they, none of that's going to matter. None of it. Because you cannot buy what they really need. And you are responsible to lay the foundation in their life. Because one day them, just like you, is going to be like the beast of the field. Last time I checked, the death rate was 100%. Everybody who's born dies. God says it's appointed unto every man once to die, and after that the judgment. Every person will stand before God. And nothing you accomplish here on this earth is going to buy your way into heaven. He says, but God will redeem my soul from the power of grave. Only God can and has the ability to redeem our soul from death. Only God, it says, can receive us. And he has offered that way through his son, Jesus Christ. Listen, Christianity doesn't show you the way. Christianity isn't a way. Christianity isn't a way to just help you connect to God. Listen, Christianity's central focus is the person of Jesus Christ. And Jesus said, I am the way and the truth and the life, and no one comes to the Father except through me. That's what Jesus himself said. If you believe he was who he said he was, and you believe that what he said was truth, that might change the way, might change your priorities in this life for yourself and for your family. Take those words, chew on them, faith the day with them. God bless you. Bye.